Hey again. Hey again, guys. This is Talia, and we're back with another Minecraft modding tutorial for AutoPaths, the mod that I made last week. Oh my gosh. So last time we made a couple of events, and we subscribed them so that they actually show up and work in the mod, and we fixed our static problem because I don't know how that works, but apparently it's necessary, and there we go. Anywho, and then we discovered this stuff down here when the player does something which happens to turn out to be all the time. The player does stuff all the time. Constant. Ah. So instead of whenever a player does something, when a player does something, we're actually going to run a check, right? So, hold on. Okay, we're going to go back to our planning board here because we need to. So, what we first want to do, okay, we're going to put this part on hold, the move part, and we're going to work on. Okay, this is bugging me. Hold on a second. Okay, so we got this part. That part's done, and we got this part. That part's all done. Right. So what we're going to work on right now is checking if the player is standing on grass. So how do we do that? So, to check if someone is standing on grass, first we need to know where are they standing. So we need to get the get address of current block, right? And then we need to is that block. Then we need to check if that block is grass, right? So this is, I think it's going to be instance of grass. Don't correct my code thingy. Okay, which means we need, so let's first work on getting the address of the current block, right? So what we need first, oh, and we're going to need some housekeeping in here too, actually. And I'll explain what that is later. But it's always good to make things clean and simple and easy. I'll explain it later. So right now we're checking if standing on grass. And first we're going to check where they're standing. So that's really our thing right now. We're going to figure out what address they are standing on, right? Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is we need a variable, and we need to figure out our stuff. So the first variable we need is a location, and block positions, like locations inside Minecraft, are called block positions. Block pose, sorry. And we're going to call that player location equals something. We're gonna make it null right now because we don't know where we're standing. And we're going to import the block position from net Minecraft util math. And that puts our nice little thing up there. Yay! And okay, so first we need to figure out who our player is, right? Like, to figure out where they are, we need to figure out who the player is, and then ask the player, hey, where are you? That's kind of my logic. Right? So, hold on a second. Okay, so who is the player? So, we need to go get... Okay, so this is our event. This is our method. I think I'm using that right. This is our method. This is the thing from Forge that we're picking up, and this is all of the packet of information that comes from this thing. So we're going to go see all the stuff that contains, okay? And we're going to do that by highlighting that, and then we're going to right-click, and we're going to open declaration, which opens where that thing gets made. So this gives us a look-see into, so this is our event, and it's returning this, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. So we need that player. I kind of cheated when I messed up on the last video, went and looked at our code, and I think I did it wrong, so we're going to maybe do it differently. I don't know. Okay. So we're going to go look for entity player equals player. So we're going to go get our player. So we're going to call it, well, we're going to call it exactly this. We're actually just going to copy that for right now. Entity player. Because we want this thing. No, that's wrong. Okay. We need, this needs to be entity player in caps equals entity player. Right, so this is the type of variable right here, and then this is the name of the variable, and this is the value that variable carries. We're making variables. Variables are fun. Variables are confusing in Java, for me at least. I'm so used to it being... Anyway. So entity player, and we're going to call this player. Yay! And we're going to make it, because we need, let's make it null for right now. And we're going to, by the way, everything in Java, every line when you do something needs to end with a semicolon like this. And I do it automatically, and I'm sorry if I don't tell you things like that. But most of the time, I copy and paste other things and change it, and that's how I program in Java so far. I very rarely like write out the whole thing, because that's, yeah, I go steal other people's code first. So for this, we need to import entity player from net Minecraft entity player. And we're gonna change our comment here, because that's not actually when a player moves, that's when a player does something. Anything. I like commenting my code because it actually makes it work better in my brain. Like the actual act of commenting on code makes it more real in my brain pan. I don't know how to explain it. It formalizes the idea in English rather than just in code. So I could actually delete this and I would still have gotten a benefit from writing it out. Yeah, anyway. So to go get the entity player, we are going to say, we're going to say, because we're getting it from the event. So we're going to go event, and then we want to dot, because we're getting it from the event. Oh, and then there it is, right there. See, it pops up with little code recommendations. It's fantastic. And this is exactly what we want. We want get entity player. Yay! Oh my gosh! Yay! Okay. So now we want to get the player location, right? And this is going to be, I think we're gonna have to go look it up. Right. So we're gonna go find out how the player says where it is. So we're gonna go into our Minecraft code. Minecraft.entity player. Here we go. All right, open that up. And yeah, we're just gonna use this first one, entity player. We're gonna go look through there. And all of these things, like, I'm looking for something that says position, and it'll be a variable. Like, it'll be something that kind of looks like this, maybe? If I'm remembering, it doesn't actually look like that, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. And see how it says chasing position X? That's kind of like, I'm looking for something that says pose X, pose Y, pose Z, right? And I don't... I don't see anything. So since I don't see anything, I'm going to open this up. And I kind of expect it to be... hold on a second. Right, the other thing we can look for is get, which is get something from that entity. So like get player position would be good, but I don't see anything. I did see something cool though, which is something else we're going to need. So while you're looking, if you see something else that you are probably going to want or need later, there it is. So I noticed this. This is the Y offset. So we're going to make a little note here that says get, what does it actually say there? Get Y offset. So I'm going to make a little note because that's something that I think we're going to need later. But I don't see any actual things, and that kind of makes sense because all things, all entities have a position, right? So we're going to go look at where this comes from. So this is the top of the method. This is all import stuff, right? So stuff that this is going to use later. So this is the actual thing that says, this is a player! And it says it extends entity living base, so we're going to go open that up. We're basically just tracing it back to figure out. Actually, we're just going to close this and we're going to go look in here. Entity. Where is this? If you hover over here sometimes, oh, it's over here. Net Minecraft entity living base. And I think that means it's inside of here. Entity living base. Okay, yeah, that's right. So we're gonna go looking this way. Previous moved different distance. That's cool. Bleh. I don't see it, so I think it's actually like, I'm pretty sure this is an entity, so I'm just gonna go into entity.class. Oh my gosh, we're actually gonna close this and just open up this. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this looks promising. Oh, so there's that could be useful. Last tick pose. I don't think I actually ended up using that before. Oh, and motion X. These are just notes for me, so that I can, you know, here I'll make them bigger so you can maybe read them. These are things that I think might be useful. Oh, there we go. These things. So, X position of this entity. Yay, Y position of this entity. Z position of this entity. That is exactly what we want. So we're going to go back in here, and we're going to say, since block positions are, I think we want to make a new one, because we don't want an actual one. We want like a new dumb one, a new dummy one. Because if it was an actual position in the world, then it would already be a thing. But we don't want that. I'm having a hard time explaining this. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to write new block pose, parentheses, and we're going to say the players dot pose X, right? Yeah. Okay, and we're going to make a comma and space. We're going to just copy that for a second, and we're going to do 2 more. Because we're going to do, and we're going to delete the comma and the space from the last one, because X, right, it's weird, Z, Y, because this is on the ground and this is in the air. X and Z are on the ground, Y is in the air. So typically you'll see it like this. Yep. And we're going to save it. We're just going to run it. We haven't changed the parameters for this, for when this does anything, but we're just going to run it to make sure our code doesn't break anything. Yeah. But it crashed. Oh my gosh. Probably because it had too many. Whoa. Cool. I like bugs, by the way. I like crashes and cool things. So this looks like a crash report. Okay, unloaded, constructed, pre-initialized. Cool. Anyway, I don't really know what most of this means. Yeah, so this says what it was doing when it crashed. Yep. Yeah, it has something to do with me. Anyway. Yeah, it didn't even open it. I don't really know what went wrong. Maybe I don't need to make a new block position. Maybe I just need to do that. No, that was right the first time. Maybe it's not new. Maybe it's just block position. No, that's not quite right either. So I think I had it right the first time. I'm gonna go cheat. Hold on a second. Block position. New block position. Yep. Oi. I think it's just this thing that's tripping it up. Okay, so we're just going to comment this out and see if it runs, because I think that's actually the problem. It's not a problem with our code, it's a problem with overwhelming Eclipse. I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100%, but see, look, it's loading up maybe a little bit now. Hopefully it doesn't crash. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, crash? No. Oh, crash. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Oh, I know what we're doing. I know what we're doing. Okay, so here's the thing, right? So whenever we do this thing, okay, this thing happens like a lot, even before we're even in the game, right? But then this stuff can only happen when we're actually in a loaded world. So we need to, this is the housekeeping stuff. Housekeeping stuff. This is really important, so I'm going to make it orange. Orange, orange. Housekeeping stuff. We need to check the world loaded. And we need to check if we actually have a player. Right? Yeah, those are good things to check. So we're going to take this whole thing and we're going to say if. We're going to add an if statement, which literally you just type in if, and then you have parentheses, and then, so that's the statement, the like parameter for the if, and then we're going to add curly brackets to say what to do if that thing is true, right? So this thing, yep. And this goes in there too. Because we don't want it to do anything if it's not supposed to. There we go. Sorry, I made it bigger so you could read it, but now it kind of wanders off the side of the page. Okay, so if says there are no parameters. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if cheating. Okay. So if this thing, we need this parameter, if that is not equal null, right? And then we're also going to check, and you need to, yep. So if the entity player that the event is grabbing is not nobody, and world, oh crap, except that's, oh, and let's make sure it's a player, right? Okay, and if this instance of entity player, right? Okay, that does a thing now. So this is saying, because we don't know what the world is until we make a variable that says this is the world. Right? Yeah, okay. So if we have an entity, and it's not nobody, and that entity that we have is an instance of the player and not some other random entity, then, and that's the brackets, we're going to make some variables called the player and the player location. Right? Cool. I hope that makes sense. So now we're going to play. And it's probably gonna crash again. Probably did it wrong. Probably gonna crash. That's okay, we like bugs. Nom nom nom, tasty bugs. Yay! Oh my gosh, it works! Yay! Let's make sure our mod is loaded. Done. Single player. Play in our thing. And notice it didn't come up with any player things before we actually entered the world. And, oh look, I think I'm Alex right now. Yep, anyway. So we're gonna go run around. Oh my gosh, it doesn't do, like, anything. That's kind of scary. Oh, I know why. Because we commented out the thing that it does. Okay, so this is gonna go. This is also gonna go in the if statement just to make sure that we're actually doing something, right? Okay, cool. Do 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 do. Yay! Everything was okay, cool. Sorry, I'm making noise playing with my chapstick. Ooh, look, yep, see, their player did something, player did something, all of the player did something, oh my goodness. And we have some even before that. So, anyway. Ba-da-da-da-da. And I'm Steve again. I don't know why, it changes randomly. Okay, we're gonna stop messing with that and quit. Okay. Oh, and I did quit. I crashed Eclipse. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yep. Yup. So anyway, we don't need that to print anymore. So what are we doing next? Did we do this? Yeah. Oh, there's one thing that we need to do. So, okay. Actually, okay, we're gonna make it XYZ because that's gonna bug me forever. XYZ, okay. So since this is the vertical, if you hadn't noticed, the block where we are is not the same as the block that we're standing on. We are not in the block that we're standing on. We are on top of it. And that is why I marked this get Y offset, because this player position thing gets the center of the 2 blocks that we, the player, occupy, which is not the block that we're standing on. So it has this handy-dandy little thing called Y offset. No, I don't want to save it. Y offset, and we're going to, I did this wrong the first time, because I would think that negative makes it go down, but apparently it's already adjusted for that, so it's actually plus the players get Y offset. Yay! We're gonna save. We're good. And yep. That's so yeah, I think that's about right. And join me on the next one, which I think I've decided to upload all of these all at once. I'm just breaking them down so they're easier to like stop when you get somewhere a little bit. So anyway, our program is running. That's better than nothing, so we're good. Okay. See you next time.